35192. Want to send a text. AlanCoxShow.com. Want to watch live? Do it there. Thank you so much to Waldorf Dunch, who's helping out in the video department today. I do appreciate it after a long holiday weekend. Guardians will play tonight. They beat the Royals last night. That was good enough to stop kind of a skid they were on. So 8:10 tonight is the second of three in Kansas City against the Royals. And you hear it here on MMS and on the iHeartRadio app, of course. And if you want to get yourself some gear from CLE Clothing Company, appropriate either for the dog days of baseball or football, whatever you're prepping for, use the promo code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, and it gets you 20% off the top, whatever you're getting from CLE Clothing Company. If you're doing it on their website, buying there, you can use it. If you're in one of their stores, if you're fortunate enough, I should say, to find yourself in one of their stores, because there's always fun stuff in there, just use BUZZ, 20% off. I got a very nice letter from a member of the Blacklist. Number 501 on the Blacklist, who he said, I debated all morning on if I should even send this letter. But I know you enjoy hearing from listeners who have had dreams about you. And he goes on to tell me about the dream he had. I mean, yeah, I prefer it from female listeners, but I mean, male listeners are fine too, right? We're all the same in our dreams. Mm-hmm. We're not men or women. We're just amorphous blobs, right? We're collections of memory and thought.
Sex and lust. Sex
and lust and all kinds of fun things. He says that at about 4:30 this morning, a 6'2", 320-pound black guy, woke up with tears rolling down my face because I had a dream that you had passed away. Mm-hmm. Think about that. My own mother wouldn't have a dream like that. I don't know where the heck it came from. It may have had something to do with the double steak grilled cheese burrito I had from Taco Bell before bed. Your service in the dream was a huge event. Have you ever seen footage of Princess Diana's funeral? It was just like that. All of your loyal listeners from everywhere you've been over the years, from Pittsburgh to Kalamazoo and Chicago and Cleveland, stood on the side of the road as your casket traveled through the rolling hills of Illinois. Well, you haven't been to Illinois very often, have you? Only thing I could manage to say through the tears was, it's not fair. I know this was all a complete figment of my imagination because we know you want to be cremated, packed into a Roman candle and shot over Lake Michigan. But the mind has a funny way of making up stories. Thank you because you've made a huge impact on me in so many ways. I was new to Cleveland 6 years ago, started listening to the show then. Wow, look at that. That's from Dion, who's on the Blacklist. This poor guy has a dream that I'm dead. I wouldn't even wake up from a dream where I was dead and cry. I don't know if it's true or if it's an old wives' tale that everyone wakes up right before they die. I'm pretty sure I've had dreams where I have died. Or at least like...
You're going to die.
Going to die. Or hit the ground. If it's a dream where you're falling. You ever had dreams where you're falling?
Oh, yeah.
Most people say that you'll wake up before you hit the ground because it's your brain's way of preserving whatever. And then you got movies, Freddy Krueger. You die in a dream, you die in real life. Yeah.
And I think certain aspects of...
Well, that's why I never understood
what's the one, the Inception. I think like the last place they were at, they're like, well, this dream, if you die in the dream, you die.
Because they had a bunch of different levels in those dreams. And they were imploding on themselves. Mm-hmm. So as far as Dion's concerned, listen, forget the main point of this. To me, it sounds like a great advertisement for Taco Bell, specifically for the double steak grilled cheese burrito from Taco Bell.
We had Taco Bell last night.
Did you have the double steak grilled cheese burrito?
No, it was our last hurrah.
Oh, good for you.
Before we decided we were actually going to get serious about not keeping snacks in the house, so we had Taco Bell and ice cream.
I thought you guys were already doing that.
We were, but then we weren't. You know how that goes.
I don't.
Well,
But,
you do it, and then for one grocery shop, and then at the end of the week, when you have to go grocery shopping again, you're like, well, we should probably just get some chips or
And it's
Cosmic
a holiday
brownies.
weekend.
It's
and,
like hot
well, yeah,
dogs
no,
and-
I get the holiday
seriously.
weekend. I understand
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So yeah, we officially started over today. So last night it was like 8:30. We made a little hummus plate with like veggies and pita
Yeah.
and a very healthy snack at like 6:30, and it was like 8:00, 8:30, and we were like, we should probably go get Taco Bell right now. And we did. We had Taco Bell.
We should. Now, what did you get?
Healthy.
I just had 2 soft beef soft burritos. Soft beef burritos.
You know how the tacos, they give you hard beef? I prefer my beef to be soft.
It wasn't even a burrito.
So bougie.
Beef soft taco. That's the order
A
of the
beef soft
word.
taco.
Yes, I had
Got it?
2 of those, and he had 2 veggie burritos and 2 bean and rice burritos.
Yep. So it's a very bean tortilla heavy order.
Well, because he doesn't eat meat. So
Right.
anything that would normally have meat, to make a vegetarian, they throw beans in it.
Gotcha.
And then we went and got ice cream after that. But that was it. From now on, healthy only.
Mm-hmm.
He started playing the drums again.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
He hadn't been playing?
He hadn't been playing
Why is that?
because we were waiting to get soundproofing up in the room, which did nothing. We put up soundproofing and it didn't do.
Drums
it sounds,
are very loud.
It sounds exactly
You have to have
the
a
same.
professionally soundproofed room.
Right,
and you're not
from
gonna pay-
like the ground up.
That's what I'm
in
saying.
the
You're not.
walls
Yeah.
and- So
You
we
have to
put
build
up.
a new room.
Yeah.
I've lived there 6 months. We finally got everything up that he wanted to put up, and he played, and I was like, it sounds just as loud as the. And honestly, though, it was a little bit better.
Probably doesn't ring as much.
It's like, yeah, it's just deadened. You can definitely still hear it. It's a drum kit in a small house. Like, you're going to hear it no matter what.
Here
yeah,
across the street.
yeah, that's his, like, cardio, is he plays the drums for half hour, an hour a day
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. So he's like, I'm going to play the drums more regularly. That's his working out. I bought this yoga pass that I haven't used. We're going to do
A
that.
yoga pass.
Yeah, it's like a 10-class pass for a discounted price, you know, to a certain studio. So it's like if drop-ins are $15 a piece, then the 10-class pass was $85. So you're like saving money by doing it that way.
You want to? Are you concerned you wouldn't do yoga if you were doing it in your house?
I don't try as hard. I know
Oh.
that about me. When I work out at home and because no one else can see me, I take a lot more breaks. I don't try as hard. I'm much easier on myself. Whereas if I'm at a gym or in a class, I try 5,000% harder.
Because people are looking at
Because
you?
people can, not even that they're looking at me, because they can see me. Because I don't want to be the one in the class who's taking all the breaks and breathing heavy and has to sit down.
100%.
But you're
I
doing it.
agree.
No, I understand you think that way. I didn't know Mary thought that way. I mean, you are doing it for yourself. I guess,
Right.
however, whatever you have to do to get yourself to, like, you know,
I push myself
really go balls to
harder.
the wall, I guess that's good.
Yes, when other people are around, I push myself harder.
So they don't go, look at this bitch.
Look at
She's
this fat hoe. Can't even get her legs to stretch.
I
or
see.
whatever.
That is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
look at this fat hoe.
Right.
Everybody, I assume by now, has seen Taylor Hawkins' kid play the
Oh,
drums.
it's,
Yeah,
so
that's-
heartwarming.
that-
My wife was like crying
It-
watching.
I
like,
cried.
It's emotional.
He's 16. This
It's
is
his dad's
no.
still
I
dead.
I fully understand that, but I mean the kid's good, and yeah, okay.
But he was playing those drums hard enough for his dad to hear him. That's like
to
what he
hear
looked like.
to hero.
Yeah.
Like, come on. the
My
whole-
hero,
Yeah.
That got me crying.
It was a
They
good
did the
one.
Taylor Hawkins tribute show, Wembley Stadium in London. They're doing one in L.A. the end of this month. They're doing 2 big ones, and basically everybody showed up to this thing. Some surprise guests, some people that were planned. They play My Hero and Shane. You might have seen some old videos of Taylor Hawkins when Shane was little, like sitting on the side of the stage, you know, banging on pots or whatever, you know, and so he, Grohl calls him up and he sits there. That's why I said to Gwen, I wonder what do you think the odds are that Shane will be the drummer for the Foo Fighters? She thought he might be a little too young for that.
I think he could be in a couple of years. And I also don't think they're in any rush to go get back together.
No, that's
but
what I mean.
yeah.
By the time they feel like doing a full, I mean, they're still, you know, when they feel like doing a full-on thing, they might call him up.
More drummer that's going to come up and play with us tonight. He's a member of our family. He needs to be here tonight with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Mr. Shane Hawkins on the drums. Shane starts this song.
It would be so unbelievable to play at Wembley Stadium, though. Forget that it's like your dad or whatever it is, you know. So Dave Grohl had his daughter sang a couple of songs, and yeah, they had a lot of people at this thing. I think you can stream it. I didn't sit down and watch.
I think it's on YouTube.
I saw the clips everybody else was looking at.
They cut up a bunch of clips that you can watch on YouTube, and then all the proceeds are going to a charity.
Okay, because I think it's on Paramount Plus or something. There's a couple of places you can go. The MTV's YouTube channel, Paramount Plus. They aired a prime time special on CBS on Saturday, but you can get it on demand. And that second one is going to be in LA on September the 27th. Paul McCartney showed up. He did a duet with Chrissie Hynde. They did the song "Oh Darling." He's like, I have never performed that song live. I haven't done it since 1969 when we recorded it.
God, right.
We saw him induct the Foo Fighters into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They brought Paul McCartney out.
And then what did they play with him? They played a
Uh,
Wings song, I think.
Jet? Band on the Run?
Be my girl.
I don't remember what they did with Paul McCartney. It was a long night, and I was very high. He finished.
Get
they
Back, is that?
Get Back, maybe? Yeah, that sounds right. Foo Fighters, they did Helter Skelter with Paul McCartney, but a lot of people came out. A lot of friends, a lot of
The James Gang,
relatives
I think, showed up.
Liam Gallagher was there. Kesha came out. Lars Ulrich. Grohl played with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. You know, they lost Neil Peart. And, yeah, pretty wild. So I think maybe I'd like to sit down and watch the bulk of that. Taylor Hawkins died in March. It seems longer than that.
I know.
But he only died in March. They were in South America, and he went to bed and didn't get up.
Grohl's part of that James Gang show at Nationwide Arena that they're doing for vets.
Oh, for Farm Aid or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Farm Aid, but
No.
like that. It's
I'm pretty sure it's for veterans.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And it's in, November. I was looking at tickets for that. They're kind of pricey, but I still
They are pricey, but I
want to
think,
go.
I mean, charity gigs are always more expensive because they're like, come on, give us your money.
Well, like the tickets that I'm looking at are already resale tickets, so I didn't get the first go at them. But they're pricey, but they're not too bad for what you're going to see that night.
Like $500? What do you mean?
Yeah, like around like $400 or $500. And I'm talking with one of my buddies. I'm like, should we just pull the trigger and get these? So we're thinking about it. We got time to decide. But man, it's a crazy lineup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that'd be a lot of fun. This is also the first year in almost 10 since 2013 that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony is in Los Angeles. They're moving it back. It used to be they would rotate between New York, L.A., and Cleveland, so we'd get it every 3 years. In the last few years, it's been New York and Cleveland. But I think they've been coveting an L.A. spot. So, because the tickets go on sale this Friday. Obviously, you'd be more prone to buy them if it was happening here in Cleveland, but they're letting people know that the Hall of Fame induction ceremony tickets will go on sale on Friday afternoon. And they're going to L.A. for the first time since 2013. Pat Benatar, who's also doing our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Oh,
I heard they added Pitbull to that. Did you hear that?
I did.
That they added Pitbull
That's awesome.
to
For our iHeartRadio
the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Did they add us yet?
They added Pitbull. Keep waiting for them to tap me on the shoulder and add us, but no. Well, we're not musical performers.
Right, but I mean, just, to attend it, to cover it.
No,
in some
nothing
way.
along those lines.
Like, even if it was just you.
No.
Oh, well, there's always next year.
But Pat Benatar is she's being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Duran Duran, Eminem, Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, and Carly Simon. Judas Priest are getting in, I think, under the wire, like one of those lifetime achievement things or something. You know, there's a lot of like side categories. So Judas Priest is getting in on that. Well, obviously, this show is no different than other ones in that the tickets immediately get scooped up or leaked to secondary, third-party sellers, and then they'll charge you, $15,000 a seat. But they'll show it on HBO, so you can watch it in your living room or wherever you want to. Wherever you decide to watch these kinds of things. I don't know. Maybe go to L.A. What's the matter with that, right?
I'd love to go. I've never been.
You should go. You'd have a good time. Leave your mom here.
Speaking of parents and dads, I met up with my dad on Saturday. He took me to brunch.
How'd that go?
He made fun of because I wanted to have someplace a little more, like a little healthier. He was just like, "Where are we gonna go?" And I was like, because he wants like meat. He's a hearty breakfast guy. He wants, the eggs, the bacon, the sausage, all the fixins. And I was like, I'll go and get like some avocado toast and like some quinoa, a little bit of something on the softer side. And he's like, "What's that?" So we ended up going to First Watch.
I love that place.
Yeah,
but they're open for like 90 minutes a day, aren't they?
No, they're open until 3. They're open like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
like
they're open.
Breakfast and brunch only. But we got there at like noon, and so that was fine. It's just funny. He's like, "Yeah, you're an old man now." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, Dad. Thanks." Talking all
At
out.
30?
Yeah, he was being funny.
No, I understand. I'm just saying seems like.
So it doesn't run in the family.
Correct.
Being an old man doesn't run in the family.
No, I think being funny because I think Poundcake's funny. I don't think his dad was that funny.
I see.
He cracks himself up, which I can appreciate.
That's always
a lot
best.
of unfunny people do.
I would say I crack myself up because I think I'm very hilarious, and especially the stuff that I don't say. The things I do say may not be that funny, but the things that I stop myself from saying, now that's pretty.
Why are you withholding the funny stuff?
Because it's not radio appropriate.
You could make it radio appropriate, couldn't you?
Nope.
I mean, I think of things all the time I have to amend.
Or there's things I think I'm like, I probably shouldn't say that, but I crack myself up in my head, and then I'm like, all right, well, let me say the watered down version. So yeah, I guess I suppose I do make a lot of stuff radio appropriate.
But you say what you want to on your podcast. You're withholding the funny stuff from that show too? Where you can say whatever you want?
But it's funny, but you can't say whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you're on your podcast or not. There's some things you just can't say.
What is it that you can't say? Like, what do you want to say? What do you,
what like making fun of the handicapped? Or...
He wants to say curses.
Well, no,
dirty things.
No, that's what I'm saying. You could say that on the podcast. I assume if he's saying there's some things you can't say anywhere, it means that they're like socially inappropriate.
They are socially inappropriate, but they're absolutely. And there are some times when I'm like out to eat and I'll see something and I'm like, all right, don't draw attention to it because you're gonna laugh even harder. Like there was this big person that she almost fell, but she caught herself, and she did the same thing that we all do. Was not only was she worried about if the fact that she almost fell, she had to turn around and look to see if everyone else saw. Which we did, and I could see everyone else was trying not to make eye contact.
She was worried everybody was going to laugh at her if she fell. There's Poundcake laughing at handicapped people.
And then I was laughing. I was trying not to laugh at
abducted teenagers, anything. He enjoys it.
I was trying not to laugh at my dad because he talks with his hands. Is very Italian of him. He talks with his hands, and he points when he talks. So there's all these waiters and stuff coming down the aisle with like trays and trays of food. And I'm like, bro, he's going to hit somebody and he's going to knock the food out and I'm going to leave. Like, he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like, you know what? All right, I'm about to be out. I'm going to head out. So there's just little things like that.
What'd you guys talk about? Because you haven't seen him in a while.
I don't really remember what we talked about. He mainly talks at me and I just sit and listen.
He talks at you.
He does.
All right.
I was having my avocado toast and he was like making faces at it, and then I'm like,
did you offer him any?
No, he didn't want any.
Oh, okay. No, but I mean, like he just reflexively thought it was gross.
Yes, he
never had any.
Nope. He looked at it and he was like, ugh, And then he looked at like my quinoa bowl. He was like, "What's that?" I was like, "I don't know. Quinoa, I think it's a plant or something. I don't know."
Grain.
It is a grain.
Yeah, I ate that.
So you don't even know what you're eating.
He has no idea.
I've had quinoa before. I don't know if it's a plant or a vegetable or whatever, but I know it's good for you.
Yeah.
I can't really get on him. The first time I had quinoa, I called it quinoa.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I think other than probably Alan because he
knew about it
But,
when he was
no.
6.
yeah,
Grew
quinoa
up
is
on
definitely
it.
what I called it.
Quinoa, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I knew quinoa. I've had quinoa before.
But you did have a nice brunch with your dad.
Yes, it was nice.
All right. I'm going to take a break here. If you'd like to get a text for something, 35192 to get me there. If you're listening anywhere on the iHeartRadio app, you can leave messages as well.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.